Hi guys, this is Tech Howdy. I welcome you to this video tutorial on ASP.NET Core 2.1 creating a image gallery project. And in this video tutorial, we will be creating our first view, that is our index page for this application. And our index page will contain an image uploader which we can use to upload images. We will code that. But before that, we are going to first create a controller for our home page. So let's go ahead and add a controller. So we'll add a new file. It's an MVC controller class and we'll call it home controller and then hit new. So our controller page class has been added. Now what we want to do is for our views related to our home controller, we need to have a views folder in our application. So let's add a new folder and call it views. So our view folders is now added. Right click on your views folder and add another folder within your views folder. Let's call this folder as home. Our home folder will contain all the views related to our home controller. So let's go ahead and add our first view, which is the index view. So let's go ahead and add an MVC view page, call it index, and then hit new. Let's give this page a title. Let's also add an h2 tag. So when we test it, we know that we are seeing the correct page. So let's say it's an home page. That's it. Now let's save this and you can close your index.cshtml. Now the next thing that we want to add is add routing, enable routing in your application. The reason why we want to enable routing in our application, I will explain it to you. So let's first go ahead and run this application. So application is building because of the view that we just added. So here, as you see that when our application loads, we are taken to this page, to this view, which is related to our API for values controller. Now, if I had to go ahead and access my home controller, and please note my home controller is not an API, it's just an MVC controller. So I'm just going to call the home controller /home, and my default view is index. So I don't need to type /index, I just have to access my home view. So I just hit enter and I'm getting an error. I'm getting this error because I have not yet enabled routing. I need to add routing in order to access my MVC controller. And to enable routing, I'm going to go to my startup.cs file and within the method app.use MVC, I will add my routes. So let's add our routes to access this controller. So I have added the routes to now access my application's MVC controllers. Now if I had to go ahead and access my controller home, then my default action method index will be loaded. So let's go ahead and test this. Now let me go ahead and test this. If I hit home, I should be taken to the default index view. So if I hit enter and now there it is. Now I'm able to access my home page index view, and we did create a h2 tag saying that it's home page, and now you can see that we can access that. Okay, so the other thing that we want to change is, now let me just close this debugger and then rerun the application. When I run the application, by default I'm being taken to this API / values controller, which I don't want. I want my application to take me to my home view. So for that, first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and delete this values control. I don't need it. So I'm going to remove it and I'm going to delete it. The next thing I want to go is go to my properties and go to my launch settings.json file. And where I see launch URL as API / values, I change it to home / index. Okay, that's my launch URL now. I save this. And the last thing that I want to do is right click on my project and go to options. And then what I need to do is I need to go to the option which is default and then go to ASP.NET Core. And then I want to change this open URL in web browser when app starts. I want to change this to home / index. That's it. And I want to save this. Okay. Now I want to stop application and rebuild and rerun it. Now doing this will take me to my default home view instead of the API / values. So application is loading and now you see, now I'm on my home page instead of API / values. So in case if you if you want to set any of your pages as your default page when your application runs, you can follow this process. Okay, so we shall end this tutorial over here, and in the next video tutorial we will start working on our index.chtml page. We will start designing this. So we will add a image uploader and we can, so that we can submit our gallery. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel Tech Howdy.